Hello, beautiful beings. How are you? I hope you guys can hear me and you are here with me, and we are just deep diving into so much medicine today. I am honored to be here with you guys. I'm going to give it a couple minutes for everyone to just sign in and connect before we start this live together. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All the things. Hi, Maddie. I miss you. I'm going to just make sure that we're all good on all platforms. I'm going to be live here as well as on TikTok. So I'm just making sure TikTok is all set up. And then I can see you guys. Hello, Nashville, NC Coast. Let me know when you guys are tuning in from. It's so nice. I haven't been in this space for about almost a month. I just got back from Costa Rica. I have a lot to update you guys with. This is your first time of us connecting. If this is your first live, put a rainbow emoji and introduce yourself. I always say in all my videos, your sun, your moon, your rising. But if that doesn't resonate with you, just whatever you feel called to share. I love seeing that everyone likes to connect during the comments and just share some deep, deep medicine. Montreal, hello, so nice to see you. Close by. Richmond, VA, Ohio. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, just let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in. It's been a while since I've been on live on TikTok and on YouTube. So from this title, you guys can kind of tune in and notice that we are talking about the Virgo full moon. I'm also going to be sharing some updates, some channeled messages from Divine that I've been receiving from the codes of Costa Rica, which is a very deep portal. And if you don't know, Costa Rica is the center of the earth. Energetically, there are so many ley lines. If you've ever been to Costa Rica and you've noticed that there's a lot of energy going through and transmuting through you, this is why. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the importance of that and what I'm bringing here for you guys. Nice to know you're near. Oh my gosh. Yeah, super close. I'm in Ontario, so in Canada, Algonquin lands. Yeah, it's so nice to connect with you guys. I'm actually cusp of Virgo. Beautiful. Yeah, so introduce yourself and just share. And again, like I said, it's your first live. Introduce yourself. Welcome, blessings from California and your first live. Well, so yeah, we're going to be going over the Virgo energy update, divine messages, and some community updates, which I cannot wait to share with you guys. I just had 2 cups of cacao, so I'm lit on lit, and I'm having some water, which, no water in here, a little bit. I've been drinking so many liquids, so make sure you have yourself charged. Get some cacao, tea. If you're listening to this at work, chill, whatever it feels good to you. I want to open space. This is something that I want to do more in lives, but also my YouTube videos. It's just a place if you're in a space where you can just drop in. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, it would be great for you to drop in with me. So I'm going to just smudge some Palo Santo, which is great for grounding, and you can receive the medicine of Palo Santo as I'm here. If you can, close your eyes and drop in for a minute. Great. If you can't, just bring presents. Obviously, if you're driving, don't do that. Or if you're at work, maybe you can't do that. But Arizona in the house. Nice to see you. Yeah, so Sagittarius, Gemini, North Lithic, awesome, Virgo. Okay. So I just want you to close down your eyes or just come to a space of presence and just take a deep breath into your heart. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. As we call into the space, opening space to be a clear channel for the divine, for the collective during this live, during this transmission, we thank you. Thanking the lands that you reside on and all of the guardians that are here to help and support you, the seen and unseen, allowing you to step into their protection and guidance, fully surrendering into all that is. Gratitude for Grandmother Moon, for all her energy and her medicine that is here for us. Gratitude for the South, for the serpent, we thank you. Gratitude for the East, the eagle condor weaving into the space, bringing in the East and the Western worlds together into one, into peace. Calling in the jaguar, crawling into the space for power and protection. Calling in the sweet hummingbird, allowing us to see the divine nectar of life that we are, the abundance that we are our biggest prayer, that we are our biggest guide in life. And so it is. Gratitude for all the elements, the fire that is within our spirit and our soul, the earth that is grounding us beneath us, from our ancestral lands and the lands that you reside on right now, connected at all times. We thank you, Pachamama, Gaia, Mother Earth. Gratitude to the waters that cleanse our being, connecting us to the moon energies every single month and cycle, allowing us to clear and cleanse and to receive new beginnings at all times. We thank you, Aho. Gratitude to the air that whispers through our breath, our spirit, our soul, eternal soul that we are and that we continue to be, because that so it is. We thank you. And for all the benevolent beings, guardians, ancestors, cosmic benevolent beings that are here, archangels, we thank you. Aho, gratitude, ashe. Okay. So I wanted to just open up. Let me know how you guys are feeling after that opening. Maybe take a deep breath, coming back into the present moment. And let's start with some updates, energy updates, some updates in community here. If this is your first time, there's a reason why you're here. There's a lot of shifts that are happening in community and expansion. I don't want to say shift, I want to say expansion. Let's shift the word shift to expansion and evolution, because that's really where it is. Hi, Allison. So I want to just share that with you guys. I'm just going to put the Palo Santo down a little bit. So I just came back from, as you guys saw in the community post, 10 days in Costa Rica doing an Aya and Madre retreat, helping and assisting with Cambo and Bobansana. It was a life-changing experience to see 12 souls, 12 powerhouses coming in to do healing for themselves and all their relations, for their families, for their kids, for their babies, unborn babies as well. We had a mother that joined us with her baby spirit in her belly during ceremony with Aya Madre. And breath work, yoga, the lands. We were actually residing beside eternal waters. And what people don't know is Costa Rica is one of the main spaces of eternal waters. If you are looking at the collective world right now, water is the frequency and the energy and the element that is calling us to protect the waters with ourselves, protect our being, protect our spirit, protect our souls, right? And there was a lot of codes that I received here to share with you guys, and I'm in a space where I'm ready to share it with you. I'm in a space where I'm ready to let that fire move through, and for you to just be sitting here and receiving all that is. So if you are interested in being on the wait list for the next Madre experience with Colleen, who has been a curandera she's a magician, I see with her work. Someone, and probably one of the only people I recommend that is really in alignment with the indigenous and the Shipibo, and Santa Daime as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, you've been looking for a space, you've been feeling maybe through your dreams or messages to sit with Aya or Madre or Cambo with these beautiful, powerful medicines, you can email me. All of that's in the bio down below. TikTok, it's in my link. You can check it out, because this is for the warriors. And this is kind of what I'm calling in for my community here. If you're watching this, you are one of them. What I mean by warriors, it means people ready to do that deep work. And I'm not saying this as like the deep work is beyond our body. It's beyond just the meditations. It's the light body. And that's what we're stepping into this new frequency that is related to this Virgo full moon as well, which I'll go into in the second half of this video. Light body is your energy. It's that feeling when you walk into a room where you're sitting in a place and you notice someone comes into the room. What is the energy that you feel from that person when they walk in? That is your light body. That is your essence. Your light body is the ability to astral project in your dream state, to get messages, to have these feelings beyond your physical. And what we're seeing with the energetic coding of the world, of this earth, is that our light body is becoming more important than this body. Because as soon as we start working on our extended body, that healing goes into our body here, which prevents diseases, cancers, any physical elements that we experience in this lifetime, any ancestral elements that we have, anything in the womb, anything in our beings, our chakras, wherever we're feeling imbalance, the balancing of the body goes in through the energetics. Okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because that is what I'm moving into. If you've sat with my meditations and you've connected with me, you might have noticed there's some deep releases that happen in your healings. That's the divine moving through my voice to support you. I always say that my prayer here is to be a tool for the divine, and that's shifting. So I'm going to have a Virgo full moon meditation and guided healing that's coming up tomorrow after this video. So if you're watching this later, then you get to see it on YouTube. TikTok, you guys will see the rerun of this if you want to. This is going to just show you and allow you to feel. You probably already felt some of the energy releases. So it's not just a meditation. It is a healing of your light body, your physical body, allowing you to receive whatever each and every single one of you need at that time. So you are a specific, beautiful, unique soul, and you're going to need something different for a Virgo full moon. And I always say, take what resonates with my energy updates, with my throat chakra energy video, with the angel numbers, whatever it is that you have connected you here on this platform, on this transmission, and allow you to take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. And sometimes we come back to the things we throw out. There are times like that as well. This is why I always tell people it's so important to go back to some videos or some healings that maybe you didn't receive. I see this a lot from my Earth Dharma students as well, where sometimes they are receiving a transmission, say about boundaries or chakras or whatever may have you, or altar. We're studying that aspect of it. And when they go into it, they're like, oh, there was so much resistance happening in my body, right? And it might be for not now, later. But what I will say is this Virgo full moon is bringing us for now. It's bringing us into the presence. It's bringing us to a new timeline. Hello. It's bringing us to the essence of what we need to see, witness, receive, and step into. Okay. So I want to share that with you guys. A couple other updates I want to share with you that are really big. The first update I want to share is the retreats. I'm so excited. We have our information session for the Goddess Retreat. It is in less than a month from today. We start the 20th of March in Portugal in the mountains. I'm so excited. Like, I don't think you guys understand how excited I am when I get to meet you in person. I love this, love getting to connect with you, but to get to connect with you in person, to get to share that transmission with you, for us to come into community, for us to heal together, to not feel alone, to understand what your specific gifts are to support you, and also to be that walking ceremony for your community, your city, your country, your town, your frequency. Because every time you step into a space, doesn't have to be only my retreats, any space that you go into, you are now becoming a walking pillar for your neighborhood, whether you are aware of it or not, right? And you see it or you might not see it as well. So we have this beautiful goddess retreat that is bringing and calling in women ready to let go of things that are held in the womb. They're ready to let go of the fear that every woman has felt since the time of time. So there'll be womb healing, yoni blessing, beautiful plant baths as well, the mountains, Cambo, plant medicine. It's going to be beautiful, right? And the plant medicine ceremony is probably the pivot of what it is at that space. Dieta, eating delicious Portuguese inspired food that is dieta friendly, and connect with other souls ready to do this work and warriors as well. Because sometimes it feels like we're alone. I don't know if you guys have felt this. If you know what I'm talking about, put a thumbs up emoji in the replay or here. But sometimes it feels lonely. I get that. I can resonate with that fully. But when we bring ourselves into these community, right? And this is going to be a seed of what I want to share with you guys. If you've been to my retreats or you've experienced it, I encourage you to come to one. And the reason why is because moving forward, the long-term vision I have for us as a collective is to have a space where we can come and live together, where we can eat food that is organic, where we can have kids that can really live and learn from nature itself and not have a system that is going to tell them they're right or wrong based on what they think is right or wrong from the old paradigm. There is a new paradigm being birthed. Mothers being able to birth their children the way that they want to, the way that the baby spirit and the mother want to ensure that there is no trauma the moment the child comes through the earth side, and also the time that the mother transitions into their rebirth, because the mother is also birthing themselves. Right? So this is why I love the goddess retreat that's happening in Portugal, because sometimes we're not even aware that there's a memory from your first 3 months, or when you were 3 years old, or when you were 4 years old, or when you were 12 years old, that you don't remember. You have no memory, but it's in your body. And that's why you have ankle issues. And that's why you have issues with your heart. Or that's probably why you feel like your moon cycle is very, very dense, right? There are stories in the body. And that's why I'm saying with the light body, when you can work on that and understand what energy do you bring into a room and get support and not have to do it alone, and really dedicate to self, you will see such a ripple in your life. Life becomes such a surrender that you don't even question the signs, the angel numbers, the essence of who you are, the being you are, the person you're with. None of that is questioned, because it is exactly what you need to be. It's exactly where you are meant to hold that medicine. That's the medicine life is. Virgo Full Moon is talking about understanding to accept the medicine of life that your soul has chosen. So I'm going to share some deep things that maybe might be hard for some of you to receive. And for some of you, you're like, okay, I can receive it now. That's okay. For some of you, maybe I always tell my clients, there might be times where you feel angry. That's okay. I want you to allow that to be transmuted. Anger is healthy, right? So whether that is you in a breakup, you feeling broke right now, you in transmission and transformation where you don't know what's next for you, whether that is you in a job that you love, whether that is you finally being able to say, I want to be a mother, whether that is you saying that I want to move to the place that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Whatever it is, think of that one thing. You can even share it in the comments right now. That is something your soul has chosen, whether that is your life path or whether that is a door opening to the path that you are meant to walk through. It is a manifestation that you have consciously and subconsciously created as a contract to yourself right now. So, Virgo full moon is calling us to get out of the way, to accept what the reality that is, the trigger that is, the chaos that is happening for some of us in the tower moment, to create a new paradigm, new path that is nothing that we've done before, because you are nothing that you were before. It's that simple. Sometimes we make things complicated because then we want to struggle a little bit. We want to not accept the reality of what is. And it's like, this is the reality. This is the truth. We reject truth more than we reject lies. Deep medicine. Virgo full moon is telling us, why are we rejecting truth and why are we creating stories? When we create stories to attach ourselves, we then make ourselves feel like, okay, it's a struggle and I'm succeeding. It's an uphill battle all the time. It can be for some of us. And as humans, we will witness or undergo suffering. It is something that will catalyst to so many different emotions for us to understand that the deepest life answer is we are moving towards peace. One of the biggest things I've learned from the indigenous, many tribes, is that when one is suffering, we are all suffering in some way. And Virgo full moon is saying for us to understand how we can detach from that to give someone else who's suffering permission to let go of that as well. We come together in that space and we do so. But that responsibility has to start with you, not me, not your partner, not your family, not your kids, not your friends, not your parents, not your siblings, you. When it starts with you and you understand that aspect that it is you that is creating the reality in life that you've made, then things start to shift and things start to get easier. But then as it starts to get easier, what part of us, and be truthful with yourself, is waiting for it to fail and is waiting for it to be, it's too good to be true, right? Virgo's energy of this full moon, what it's illuminating on, because the full moon, we can see her, we can see this grandmother moon. She is showing us and teaching us where we are hiding from the life that we want to create, and where we are illuminating these thoughts, these patterns, these ways that we've attached our made a personality out of it. We've made a personality out of these thoughts, stories, and we're being asked to let that go. And again, that's where the power is in you, because every single one of you is very powerful. I always tell people when I work with them, it is to shine light on your power and what you're doing. I'm guiding, but you're the one who's healing. You're the one with the instruments. You're the one who is stepping into that fully. I'm just here to say, hey, by the way, it's to the left, not the right. Do you want to go that way? Okay, great. Let's go there together. Let's make sure we can do that together. So we're going to rant here, but I want to share that because that's coming through. And share with me what's coming up for you as you receive that. But going back to what I wanted to share, hey, Gail, is that, yeah, we have a few spots available for the retreat. Now, I'm going to offer something that is going to be only offered until Monday. The reason why I'm offering this is because right now it feels good. I didn't plan to share this, but it's coming in, and now I understand why Divine asked me to come on here. I have about a couple spots left for the Goddess Retreat, and it's really powerful. And I don't do this with every retreat, but I've noticed that this is something that is my biggest prayer for a lot of people, is to receive healing. So if you are someone that right now has really wanted to go on this retreat, the Goddess Retreat that's happening March 20th to the 27th in Portugal, in Valdemos, in the mountains, 3 hours away from Lisbon, and deep in your heart, you're noticing, I really want to step into the woman I want to be. I want to step into the being I want to be. I want to clear the karma that I'm creating a story around. I'm ready to be my deepest empowered self. Email me and my team. I'm going to be offering a partial sponsorship for 2 souls for this retreat. I have until Monday midnight for your applications. Okay, so you can email. Once you've sent your application, you can email teamchicachica@gmail.com and let us know, hey, I just applied. Put in your subject, applying to the Goddess Retreat, so we know and we can look at it ASAP. Okay, so you can prepare and be ready to step into this space. Okay. It's something I know 2 souls need to go into this space and heal. Again, the invitation's there. I always say I can give you everything you want, but it's up to you to step into that space, okay? The second thing I want to offer too is we have the Divine Dharma retreat and training. This is a training for light workers, people who want to step into being light workers, warriors for this world. Maybe you've done a training before. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you are someone that is like, I'm here to help the collective. Well, it starts with us first. It starts with our healing. It starts with looking at the mirror. So in this training, we learn about that, but we also learn tools to help and bring to share with your community and loved ones at home. So practices, healing, support, and Reiki as well, which I think every person should have Reiki, to be honest. That's my honest thing. It's a great tool that everyone, I even think kids should have Reiki. At least be attuned. We all have Reiki, but to be attuned in Reiki, to heighten our awareness of our intuition, and to have a tool that we can use at all times. Even though I do somatic healing, plant medicine, I'm a facilitator of plant medicine, and I do all these things, I still go back to Reiki as a tool. Like it's almost like a pencil in my pencil case, or a marker. I just use it when I need it, right? And for some people, they use it as their full embodiment and their full gift, and that's what they feel called to share, right? Some people use it with massage, some people use it for other things. So if you're someone who wants to learn how to step into the light worker that you are, into your spirit and your soul's life path, then this is a great training for you. This one's filling up quite quickly. Um, and if you're someone that maybe applied to the Earth Dharma and you felt like, oh, I'm not ready for Earth Dharma training, which is my 1 year container for those who are, I know you're going to message me saying, hey, Shika, can I be in the Earth Dharma? It's closed right now. I don't know when I'm going to open the application, but you can add yourself to the email list as you guys are the first to know when the application's open. But if you felt like you weren't ready for it, that's okay. Maybe it's later, maybe it's the divine dharma. Maybe that's what your soul is feeling pulled to, your heart is being pulled to, then you can apply. All applications in my link tree, which is in the description, TikTok, it's in my bio, and you can apply there. Just reading, Bobby completely resonates with me. That's beautiful. Tara, where is the application for the goddess retreat? So you can do that through my link tree. So if you go down to the description, you will see my link tree and it will see retreats 2024. You can apply, which brings me to the second thing I want to share with you guys, which has been something I want to be fully transparent with you guys and something that I think is really important to share. So the ancestral retreat was supposed to be on, and I said was supposed to be April 20th to the 27th, and I am now canceling that retreat for two reasons. One, it is important for me to really be transparent with you guys. And the transparency is that quite a few of you applied. Quite a few of you stepped in and said, I'm ready to work with my ancestors. And when I sat in meditation the past couple days during integrating after Costa Rica, there's a part where I felt the ancestors of those who applied say, you need to step into the ball. You can't allow us to do all the work. And this is a deep message I felt. And I am feeling right now that those who applied aren't ready to fully go into this. Plant medicine is not going to be a way to just bibbity bobbity boom and clean everything and to heal everything for you. It's not for that. It is an ally, it is a friend, it is something that supports you. Okay. So for that, I've decided something that I feel is important to discontinue this retreat and to really focus on supporting where people are ready. And where they're ready is the activated goddess. I'm listening. I am just a tool for spirit. I am just an instrument, right? We are all instruments. We have to understand that when we accept that, that's when life gets easier. When we accept that you're an instrument of yourself. You're an instrument for the collective in many ways. When we can look at what we have as our instruments, both consciously and subconsciously, our life shifts, right? And what I'm seeing here is there's such deep work that's going to happen in the goddess retreat and the divine dharma. And there's a few other things coming up, as well as the waiting list for the Aya Madre retreat, which you guys can email me for that as well. You'll be the first to know more about that as well, and I can connect you. But yeah, it was something that feels really right. And I also want to share with you guys that the moment you accept that it's not about you as a space holder, this is for people who are interested in being a light worker, coming to my divine dharma, have done my Reiki training, have done my Earth Dharma training, who are currently my Earth Dharma training. You can never be a space holder unless you understand and accept it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the divine orchestrated mission that your soul is here to be of. And with the ancestral retreat, the divine orchestrated is for me to be in integrity and say, hey, it's not now. They're not ready. And that's okay. But where they are ready is to heal the wombs and the women who are ready to step forward, right? And, one of you just asked on TikTok, how can I know I'm ready? You'll just know. You'll be pushed forward. You asking this question means that you're not ready, right? You questioning it is not ready. There's a difference between understanding, okay, I'm feeling the fear and I'm feeling the sweaty palms and okay, I'm ready. That's okay. Right? We get nerves, we get fear. That's all part of the process of stepping into a full new frequency. But do you accept the invitation? That's when you know you're ready. Are you accepting the invitation of what you have to let go and what you have to step into. That's what this Virgo full moon is telling us. If you say, yes, I'm ready to accept that invitation, then you've just stepped into what you need to step into. You don't know, and you have to step out of the way, out of control of what that will be. And if you're sitting here asking yourself the same question or scripting or journaling the same thing you want to let go, the same thing in a new moon that you want to receive, and you're like, why isn't it happening? It's because you yourself need to get out of the way of what you've just received. Detach from what you're asking, be an instrument to that manifestation, be an instrument to the life that which you want to step into. And when you can do that, boom, everything starts to go off like fireworks. And it's like, whoa, everything is changing. Yeah, you called that in. Woo, look at the magic. Because this moment right now is something that is preparing you for what is the life you're stepping into. So I'm going to just read this. I've been doing shadow work and feeling unwell, not even sure what to do right now, need clarity. So that's something to go into. I do have, Kay, I'm really happy you shared this. If you're someone that is in the point where you're ready to go into where you're stepping into and you're like, Shika, I need guidance, I do have my rebirth program. It's a 3-month or a 6-month container. I don't take many people at a time. I do a full call with you after your application as well to see if that's a good fit for you. If that's something that you're interested in, I highly suggest you checking that out, Kay, and anyone else. This is not a light program. It's a rebirth, which means it's a metamorphosis for you to step into a caterpillar and into a butterfly. You know, stepping into the different stages of shadow work and healing and transforming into the invitation of the instrument you are, the power that you are. And when you can do that, so much of your life is shifting, and anything that is not of the frequency of what you are leaves. It strips from the body, it strips from the being, it strips from the light body, it strips from your reality. It doesn't resonate anymore. And when that happens, we have to know that we just let it go. We give it back, and we give it back to whatever you connect with. And when you do that, then you step into what you are meant to, your divinity, your essence, who you are as a being. That is all that matters. That is all that matters. There is divinity in the person that you pass downtown that is asking and begging for money. There is divinity in the person at the store as a cashier. There is a divinity in the multi-billion-dollar person that is coming in and making deals every minute. There is divinity in you. There is divinity in every single person. When you can get to a space where there's no judgment and you can step into what is true, that is where everything comes forward. That is when everything steps into your reality and you become and you realize you were always whole. You were always in your truth when you start to declutter and sweep everything that was not. But until that moment, when you can fully surrender to accepting that I have to look at some stuff, that I have to embody some stuff, that it is healthy to embody them, to let them go, and to then embody the true essence of my spirit, well, then, hello, welcome home, honey. That's my full mantra here. What do I do? If you want to know what I do, I bring people home. That's what I do. I'm a guide your home. I'm your light. I'm your flashlight, just pointing you to the direction of your path. That's all I am, a flashlight. But you're the one walking. You're the one on the path. You're the one stepping into whatever you need to step into. So whether it's through a video, whether it's through my one-on-ones, whether it's through community events, whether it's through breath work, whether it's through a retreat, I am your flashlight to that space. And I bring a few friends that are benevolently supporting and protecting you, and we do the work and we get it done and we live life and we're happy. You know, people don't talk about that. Shadow work, healing, da, da, da. Oh my God, Shika, what about this and this and this? What about what you can step into? What about the celebration of what you've already cleared up to this point? We never talk about that, right? You know, the other time a few months ago after the Earth Dharma students finished their training, it was intense. It's an intense training. That's why I go through a thorough application process. But they're like, you know, Sheik, I'm just enjoying being human. I'm like, that's amazing. Why can't we do that without judgment? Why can't we allow ourselves to eat food without thinking of the calories and anything anymore? That we can just enjoy it and have a healthy relationship with food and human experiences, for example. That's where the healing is there. The healing is life. That's what it is. Simple. I'm going to read your messages. When I'm channeling, I'm like, okay, let's go back down the ladder. So thank you for that. I think I've been letting go my day job soon. We'll check in with you. So we'll check in with yourself. Let's change that, Kate, to check in with yourself, right? Not me, you, right? So check in with yourself first. That's what I always tell people. Check in with yourself. Checking in with me is great, but you first. Oh my God, yes. I have been feeling this heavy. I wake up in the morning and now feeling very uncomfortable with my reality. Right now, I'm currently unemployed and I'm feeling huge shifts because of this. Yeah. Like Cassandra, you chose that unemployment. You chose the discomfort. You chose it, but it's going to birth you into the phoenix that you are. Like, I don't think people need to stop holding on to the things that are shedding, the things that are leaving. That's how we step into continuous grief. You ever feel people constantly grieving, constantly sad, constantly in depression? That's because we're holding on to everything we're letting go. We're not sweeping it. We're taking it back. We're hoarding things that we have done healing on. People don't talk about that layer, right? So there's a layer of when you do shadow work and healing that you hoard. You hoard, oh, because I went through this, then I did this healing and I went to this retreat, and you hoard it, hoard it. Okay, that's great. We've recognized that. Step into your divinity of what is right now. What are you? Right? I hated this job. Let that anger come through. And I said yes to it because I didn't respect myself and my divinity because of whatever conditioning. I need the job for my bills. I need this for that. But we talk ourselves to whatever it is. But we have to understand, guys, one thing I want to share with you, and I'll repeat, and I'm going to answer your questions because TikTok and YouTube's going off. But one of the things I want to share with you guys is that this reality we created, this war that's happening in the world, these unfair things, these Illuminatis, these whatever you want to call them, is something we created. We got to stop disassociating from that, right? Your disassociation, Virgo full moon, perfectionism, you're figuring so many things to organize and that. Okay, logically that looks pretty, but is it actually working for you? Probably not, because what you're doing right now is not what you used to do because you've changed. You shedded that version of you. So now you're calling in the old version to tell you how to manifest, to tell you how to step into, to tell you what job to go into, because this job didn't work out. So what job's going to work out? It can't be this one because of this, right? But we got to look at a bigger picture than that. What is the energy of that job? What is the essence of that job? I'm giving you guys a full mentoring here. What is the energy of my job? How did I accept it? And why did I accept that? There's a story beyond that that has allowed you to be attracted to that energy. You hate your job. What do you hate about yourself? What do you hate about life? Those words, hate, is a potent energy in medicine, right? So I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm going to go off, but I'm sure you're receiving a lot of releases right now, I sense. Yes, this resonates. Depression is because of holding of things that I do not need to keep around. Exactly. Right. You're just like, let me hold it. Let me hold it. Depression, deep pressures of self. Virgo full moon. That's what it is. For those of you who are feeling depressed 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, it's because you are putting pressure on self. This is the medicine we need to hear. Or there's an external pressure that we've accepted to be our reality. And that energy is holding onto our back, caving us into ourselves, completely closing our chakra system and our energy field and our light force, and this feeling that we can create our reality. So then that's what happens, right? Vita, I had so much resistance with breath work, but decided to do 8 minutes of breath work every day. And now I'm like, I am paying attention to the stories that I'm telling myself, and I am not my thoughts exactly. But I'm also going to share something with you guys. You are not your thoughts, but your thoughts tell you where energy is being put towards, right? We are not our thoughts, they're just stories, right? But we also can't bypass the story. So there's a balance. So let me give you an example. Let's say that our thought is saying that I can't leave my job. I'm just going to give you an example because this is what Cassandra shared. I can't leave my job until I have the next job by May, right? So you're putting that contract with source. I can't leave my job until May until I get that job. So now you're putting the pressure that by May you have to have a job that you like, that you don't hate, right? But I'm not my thoughts. Oh, okay, this is not my thoughts. But you are, because your thoughts is telling you truth. So instead of shifting, I'm not my thoughts, is my thoughts telling me something that is true that I'm not looking at? This is the deep work. When we can look at that and say, is my thoughts telling me something I don't want to look at? Virgo full moon is shining light on ways that we're procrastinating on looking at the truth, right? To create those stories, to create those attachments, right? That is where we have to look at. If I start something passionately, but out of nowhere, it goes away, it's because I wasn't ready. If you start something passionately and out of nowhere it goes away, then it's either telling you two things. One, it doesn't resonate with you, or are you committed to this passion? Is it actually passion or is it not? Right? Words are spelling, are contracts to self, that are frequencies, right? Why do you listen to a song and you feel amazing? Why do you listen to another song and you feel like you're depressed because a person's talking about their breakup, right? Yesterday, I was driving home from seeing family and I listened to Bob Marley. And I grew up with Bob Marley. My dad would blast it all the time on Sundays. And I come from a Caribbean household. So he would blast it on and reggae and zouk and all those music, soca, if you know, you know. And when he would play it, a lot of the music, I would know the frequency. The moment that Bob Marley and reggae and that deep, jah medicine would come through, I would dance and I would just feel like this frequency. It's like anything that was lower frequency would just leave. Because what happens when shadows and negative thoughts come, they can't survive in love. They can't survive in light, right? When you take a shadow, you take a flashlight and you put the light on the flashlight, there's no shadow anywhere. There's no darkness. It can't survive there, right? So where can you be this Virgo full moon? The full moon is the flashlight and it's shining on where there are certain shadows that don't need to survive anymore. Simple. Pun intended, simple. Life is healing. Yes, I'm uncomfortable right now and do not what I really want to do because I always think about if it stabilizes me. So when you think about what stabilizes and you understand that you are already safe, that is when you start to notice that you allow yourself to be a tool for spirit to provide you the job that you want. When you're saying stabilize, it's telling me I am not safe in something, right? Look at the way that your parents or family in their environment as a child would chase after job. Were they not around? Were they constantly working? Did they work 5 jobs? Like, what was their relationship of abundance in that aspect in life, right? Life is the ceremony, right? So if you spend most of your time in the job you hate your life, you hate your being, you hate your emotions, you hate who you are, you hate your divinity. So then what happens? It feels really unstable because you're not in the frequency that your spirit wants to be in. So it gives you a tower moment. Your employer fires you. You leave your job because of your health, whatever it is, right? So these are all blessings. What doesn't resonate leaves. Rejection is protection. Remember that. Okay. Any other things that you want to share? I'm going to open the space for you guys to share. What you said about energy and job, etc. I realize the divinity to bring me where I need to be. Aho to that. So it is deep, deep, deep medicine here. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what else is spirit sharing with me. It's funny now. I always bring my cards, guys, and since because I've also been taking the medicine I'm sharing with you, right? Like I can't tell you this and not be living it. Like it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't resonate, right? It wouldn't be real. And recently, I haven't been feeling called to use my cards. And the challenge that is coming on my end is to share with you guys deeply without cards. I feel like we sometimes put so much attachment to the visual of the crystals and the cards and everything. So the deeper I go into my work, the less tools I have, because I start to notice how to work with the unseen for protection and depth and sharing storytelling, which is what I love to do. I love storytelling. So, yeah, let's read a message from TikTok. Difficult situations beyond my control, very difficult to accept, not a shedding like losing a job. Yeah, so difficult situations beyond control, chaos. What is Virgo Full Moon calling us to really step into? It's bringing us chaos so then we can go down on our knees and say, okay, I let go of control. What's that saying? It's beyond my control. That means I am controlling it. And it is difficult for me to accept that I'm shedding and losing this job. And in doing that, I will continue to attach to that reality. And I can't be a full vessel to receive what spirit's trying to push down to my being, my divinity. So again, that's a great example of spelling of words. And when I'm receiving what you're sharing, it's very, very deep, right? Yeah, it can be scared to divinely be guided if we've never done it before. If we've spent our whole life feeling unstable and shedding. And that's why the light, that flashlight, is guiding you to let you know that if you put the light on, you're okay. You're okay. It's also awareness that there is the shadow. We give love to the shadow for the light to fully give love through that, right? It's a balance, such as the masculine and feminine essence. It's a balance. Let me read your messages. They're coming in hot. I've been seeing a lot of 444s. Wake up. You're not waking up. You're not listening to the awakened thought. That's exactly what I heard. So Davina received that. I hope. I'm saying this because I know Davina, so I can share that. She's been to one of my retreats. How can I gain the courage to do what I truly want to do without worrying about money? When you start to make decisions based on result, which is what we're trained as children, right? Like you study an exam and then you'll get an A plus. And what happens when you don't get an A plus? But I did everything right. What happened? Well, maybe what you're learning you don't resonate with, or the way you're learning doesn't resonate with your unique gifts and how you absorb information and transmissions and downloads, right? This is what's wrong with our school system and why that school system right now is collapsing. And we're shifting into teaching the new generation around nature and kids and family and a village to raise a kid. What happened to that phrase, right? So it can be easy on the mother and also on the kids as well. So let's kind of go into a little bit more of the money aspect, right? If you're worrying about money, it's telling me here when I'm receiving that, how do I gain courage to do so and truly want without worrying about money? It's like you're not accepting that what you want doesn't have anything to do with money and the result of it, right? So when you step into what you're meant to do, and this is something I always tell myself, and it's a great reminder, when you're on your divine path, spirit has no other choice than to protect you and to give you the abundance you need to make that path work. So if you're asking yourself and you're saying, how do I truly step into it? You step into what you want to go into, the money will come after. Everything is energy at the end of the day. I can't tell you how many times that the more I step into being a conduit, a vessel, that I get so detached from what this world has taught you about money, whether it's six figures and these words we use about money. And if I can tell you one thing, whether when I lived my life where I had negative at a certain point, and I'm going to say had at the time, it's no longer in my frequency, but I had negative $54.63 in my bank account. And when I've had a lot more than that coming through in my abundance, that no matter what that was, the frequency I was at in that negative, I was still in my divinity, but I was attached to chasing money. You can't attract money chasing it. There's no way. When you start to be patient and build a relationship with money, like you're going on a date, right? If I were to go on a date and I said, I'm worrying about how much money you have. How much money do you have? Oh, you make that much? I don't know if it's going to work. But I feel like this relationship's really going to work. Like I truly feel that this courage that we can make this work. I've done the work. You know? So the truth is that if you truly are courageous, you would detach from the result of what you would get. And you would start asking yourself the question of how do I step into what I'm meant to go into without and trusting that the unseen is going to support me in what I'm meant to step into. When I start to do that and start to detach with my coding of what money is, doesn't mean anything as paper. Like it means nothing, guys. I don't think you understand. Like it means absolutely nothing. Whether you have $1 to your name or you have millions to your name or billions to your name. And let me tell you, I've worked with people of all walks of life. I've walked with people with a lot of money. I've walked with people with no money, and I've walked with people in between. And I can share with you the one thing we all have is our shadows and healing. And we all want to be part of a collective where we feel like we know what our job is here, that we know what gifts we're meant to help and support, because together it is the unity that is created in community. So when you can truly step into your unified self and stop asking yourself money, 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 because I've been there, I've been there, then you have answered your right question, right? So go back to the universal Jeopardy and ask the right question, and you will receive what you're meant to receive. Hope that answers your question. Just trying to brief everything. I love that. How does derealization translate these recent upgrades? It takes time to integrate all that is. When you start to realize that the life that you are living in is attached to stories and coding that is in the collective and an ancestral layer and a soul layer, because then we have a Akashic past that we can go into so many levels and layers, so many divinities that can go up. When we start to accept that the recent upgrades you have are going to be continuous upgrades, they're actually eternal upgrades, and that there's not an end of integration. Like I've had people who've sat in ceremony years ago and they're still telling me, Sheikah, I'm still integrating from that first session. Because what happens as you evolve, you take that story and you notice something different, right? I'll give you a simple example. If you have a tree in your backyard, and if you were to look at that tree every single day, I bet you will find at least one thing that is different. It might be a bud, it might be a snowflake, it might be a bird, whatever it is, that tree is a different frequency every single day. So are you. So that means that that tree either realizes and also doesn't realize things within its divinity and through its coding, and it's upgrading spiritually as it grows its roots beneath the earth, as we do too, because our feet are connected to the earth. So when we start to understand that there is no time to translate to upgrades, that's what I'm feeling called to share. That's where we start to really absorb the realizations of our healing. We really absorb the epiphanies, the downloads, the shedding, the receiving, the releasing, the dissolving that we're doing in this deep work, in this warrior work. That's when the real stuff starts to come through, and it is beautiful to see too. So I hope that answers your question. I have time for 2 more questions, and I'm going to close the Virgo energy update and this channel divine message. This was good. I love chatting with you guys. And again, if you feel called, I'm offering this till Monday. For those of you who want to apply for the Goddess Retreat, there I'm offering 2 spots, partial sponsorship. If you want to apply, you have till Monday midnight to do so. And please email the team shikachica@gmail.com once you've applied, so our team could look over it for you and we can decide. And then also, the Divine Dharma is open. The retreat training for light workers who want to learn how to heal themselves and learn gifts and healing to help their community and loved ones as well. Starting that journey is going to be very supportive for you. I'm going to be uploading the Virgo Full Moon meditation tomorrow. So you guys will have it tomorrow. So welcome. Any other questions before we wrap up this update? I hope if you guys also, if you want to learn more of like a proper sit down, going through everything, go on TikTok and also here on YouTube. There's an energy update. And like I said, there will be an energy healing meditation for you as well. Great. Yeah. And then for one-on-ones, I'm opening my applications for summer. So if you're wanting to work this summer and do some healing, and maybe that's a gift to yourself to step into your divinity and rebirthing and metamorphosis of self and your truth, my dear warrior, then you can apply. Everything is in my link tree. So go to my description, TikTok, you guys can go into my description and you will see all my offerings that are happening. Take a walk through and see what comes through. And that will help you. Recently discovered I am a channeler. I need advice. One, tune into what you're channeling. Can be overwhelming when you're starting to become a channeler. That you're getting so many messages and you walk into a room and you're just receiving so many people. Part of your gift will be learning how to tune off and to lean into what you want to check into and what you don't, and also to understand people's boundaries as a channeler. You can't just go into people all the time and come out of people, right? So we have to ask that spirit connection and the spirit permission to do so. Another thing I would really highly suggest you doing is really work on your energetic hygiene, because when you're channeling so much, especially when your gifts fly off, it can be easy for us to not be aware of what we're holding. So just to keep your clean vessel and to clean and clear, smudging every single day. This is for everyone, not just channelers, because we're all channelers. You know, when someone says, I just discovered I'm a channeler, you just discovered that you can channel and everyone can channel. Like I'm not the only one that can channel. Every single one of you here can channel too. So it's just a matter of opening that up. So when you open your channel and activate it, the best thing to do is to smudge and clear. So Palo Santo, Sage, I have a video a long time ago. I talk about how to smudge your space yourself. If you want to learn how to do that, you should be smudging every single day, morning and night. I suggest Palo Santo at night is really good, and whatever you want in the morning, but Palo Santo is more grounding. So those are my best advice that are coming up for channeling and when you open your channel. And there's a lot, but I think that's the biggest thing. And then, you know, if you, depending on where you want to go into your journey, you know, doing the work and finding yourself in spaces where you can work on yourself as well will really be helpful. Copal is really great. When do you typically go live? Jenny just asked. I usually go live. I used to go once a week. I am going whenever spirit tells me. I'm not putting a time on it. I'm not going to post content just because. Which brings me to another thing I want to share with you guys. You're going to see a lot of my content. Yes, I talk about full moon, new moon, all that stuff. But I'm going to talk about plant medicine more because I'm a medicine courier. I'm a plant medicine facilitator. And I think a lot of you don't know that too. So I'm going to talk more about plant medicine. I'm going to talk more about healing. I'm going to talk more about the energetic body. I'm going to channel more divine messages like this, more energy like this, more lives like this. It's the best way to keep in touch. Add yourself to the email list that you have in my link tree. Subscribe, put notification bells, all the things on all my social media, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And what else? Yeah, just be proactive in the messages. You know, I do read the comments all the time. So when you comment, even if you're in the replay right now, I actually receive it. And I sometimes receive a message, okay, this might be a really good supportive topic to talk to the community. So I really listen. Like I said, I am a channel for spirit. So I really listen and I see what comes through. And that's how we have this channel here together. So I hope that answers your question, Jenny. Spirit told me to focus on my nervous system and I was avoiding it. So you're right. Yeah, you gotta focus on. You can do all the healing, all the plant medicine, all the astral protection, all the stuff, the retreats. But if you don't integrate, like your nervous system is gonna be like, what is all this energy? Like reject this new version, reject all the. That's what's gonna happen, right? So integration is huge. That would be a beautiful video, or even just talk about, or even a little workshop. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Yes, nervous system, 100%. Love the clearing Palo Santo Copal. It's so good. Yeah, it's amazing. I love Copal for space. If you want to cleanse your space, Copal. Copal is your thing. It is amazing for removing energy in the space. So yeah, I think that's really important. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot to share with you guys. There's so many updates. Um, I feel like I need to do a personal video update. A part of me wants to do vlogging, but like I would be just such a realistic vlogger. I would barely edit and just share things because, I retreats and community events and stuff. But I don't know if that's something you guys would even be interested in. And let me know. There is a community event that's coming up shortly. I will be announcing it shortly. So stay in tune with email list and community to know all about that. Please do a video on that. Yes, I've given up integrating my Aya ceremony. I still don't get it. That's okay, Karina. There's people who've sat with Aya, and if there's questions on Aya too, that would be great to do a video, a Q&A. Put them in the chat or in the comments down below the replay, whatever it is, on Aya. If you've sat with Aya, maybe you have questions. If you're still integrating your Aya ceremony, it's great to support with integration, whether it's with someone or even just know that your integration will come when you're ready. I've sat in a ceremony and I've integrated a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later. So it takes time with plant medicine. And I also go over that with my retreats. Like I do a integration call before and after. We do a call before and after. It's important because so many things change in your frequency in your life. You're like, whoa, who do I talk to about all these things? The same people you sat with, right? So it's really important. And that's another thing. It's not just a retreat. You go there and goodbye, good luck with your new self. No, we have support for you to help you with that as well, which is great. Okay, I could talk to you guys for hours, but I'm going to leave it there. I love you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful Virgo full moon. I hope you receive the medicine you needed here. I look forward to doing videos more on integration, healing, deeper work, deeper healing, and calling in warriors for community, because that's what I'm working on the back end of stuff as well. Never be sorry. Never be sorry. I really want to share that with you guys. And I could feel that. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to share with you guys that are coming up. Personal videos. I feel like that's another one. If you want me to do a personal update, because a lot of what's happening in my personal life is going to affect us here and our community. So if that's something that you want to do or have space for, let me know. Sorry, I just got distracted because TikTok just put like one of those verification things that you're on live. That's weird. I don't know if anyone's had that on live, but interesting. So sending you deepest love. Happy Virgo full moon. Don't forget to like, share with a friend, comment, subscribe, stay in touch. And again, if you're interested in offerings, check out the link tree. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so deeply. Bye.